Mr. Jons, thank you for coming today. I'm sorry we're running out of time a little bit, and we did 45 minutes in German today, which is fantastic, but I think not so fantastic for our English listeners. So thank you for staying with us tonight. I know it's late. We have a lot of questions. You sent us a lot of questions beforehand via email and through our contact form, and we're happy to interview Mr. Jons. He's a lawyer in Berlin, in Germany, and I think also in Munich. You're quite active. And he is very, very popular here in Germany, especially when it comes to the brokerage law and the real estate agent law, however you name it. I'm sure you already have realized there is a change in the real estate law, or especially the agency law, by end of this year, which means that the commissions will be paid by both parties, so 50% by the vendor and 50% by the buyer, or 100% by the vendor. Mr. Jons will quickly explain what's going to happen and what the effects will be. We have a couple of questions. If you do have questions during this webinar, please don't hesitate to ask us directly on the online chat, and please don't hesitate to contact us anytime. We will try to respond to your questions tonight directly. So, Mr. Jons, can you please explain the change in the real estate law in English, please?
First of all, we should start with having a look on how the real estate agents law in Germany works. Because in each and every European country we have different real estate agent laws, and there was an initiative years and years ago which tried to harmonize the real estate agents law, which didn't work because we have the sole instruction in one country, we have the real estate agent acting as a mediator between the seller and the buyer in other countries, and in Germany we are in between because we know both. In Germany, real estate agents can act as sole instructor and they can act as mediators, so that they have contracts with both the seller and the buyer. So having this in mind, and having in mind that there are no rules concerning the real estate agent's contract, so there's no, you don't have to have written contracts, you don't have to have any kind of form for the real estate agent contract. Knowing that, there is a new law on the horizon, which will start 23rd of December 2020. So let's say it's a Christmas gift for real estate agents, for sellers and for buyers. And starting with 23rd of December 2020, there is a new law introduced which says when both parties have a contract with the real estate agent, then the real estate agent acts as mediator, and when the real estate agent acts as mediator, the seller and the buyer have to pay the same commission fee, or same amount of commission fee. So they are obliged to pay the same commission fee. Today, you can find in places like Berlin the situation when you own a property in Berlin and you want to sell this property, you go to a real estate agent, and the real estate agent is able to negotiate the whole commission fee he is earning out of this contract with the buyer. Starting 23rd of December, real estate agents have to negotiate with the seller 50% of the commission fee and with the buyer 50% of the commission fee, so that at the end of the day, both parties of the notary contract, when the property is sold, are going to pay the same amount of commission fee. This is quite new. The second thing which is new in this real estate agents law is that all real estate agents contract have to be closed under a certain format, whatever that correct in English is, but it has to be something in a written form.
Yes, in the written form has to be a contract or a legal piece
so
of paper. An agreement, a written agreement, I would say.
Yeah, it is not required to have a signed contract, so you needn't have to sign anything, but you have to confirm via email. So let's say you come from Ireland, you come from England, you come from Norway, you come from the United States, you own a property in Berlin, you want to sell a property starting January 21, you will have to make a written agreement with the real estate agent saying that you are going to pay 50% of the commission fee and that the real estate agent is allowed to have the other 50% of the commission fee taken from the buyer.
So a lot of our vendors have contacted us recently in the last couple of weeks and month and have asked, isn't it a good time now to sell before this estate agency law will come into place by end of December?
So if they only ask because of 3% commission fee, I'm not sure if this is a good basis for a decision. In Berlin, especially in Berlin, Berlin is one of the places and one of the cities in Germany where there's a huge demand for properties and where the inventory is quite low. And when the inventory is low and the demand is high, usually prices are rising. And this is what we have seen over the last years. I don't know, you could say something about how much have the prices for condominiums or for apartments risen in the last year? Is it 5%? Is it 6%?
Yes.
I don't know.
Even in the corona pandemic, I think Berlin is, beside Moscow and Seoul, the only market in the world where the prices have risen by 3 to 5%.
So these are the 3 to 5% rising prices, and you are talking about selling earlier because you want to save 3% commission fee. I don't know if this is a good decision. If you could sell by end of next year with another increase of your price of another 5 or 6%, I'm not sure if this is a good time or a good basis for making your mind up for selling the property. If you want to sell, because you say that in Berlin is now the right time to sell, you need the money. Facing corona pandemic results, you want to go out of the real estate market. All these kind of things might matter and might be a good reason for you to sell a property. So find a good agent in Germany, make a contract with that agent in Germany. And again, I tried to tell you about that sole instruction or about the reason acting a real estate agent as a mediator. When we have a look on the sole instruction thing, and all of you who come from the United States are pretty aware that you are making a contract with your real estate agent because your real estate agent is going to handle everything in the best sense for you. So if you want to have the same situation in Germany, you do a sole instruction with a realtor in Germany. You make a contract with this real estate agent saying that he is only on your side. I don't have the better word for that, what einseitige Interessenvertretung ever means in English. But
it's representing solely your interest.
Yeah, and
hopefully.
Yeah, but when you do a contract saying we are the only one who are paying you, you are not allowed to take a commission-free fee from the buyer, and you are not allowed to make a contract with the buyer. Then the real estate agent will offer the property as the sole agent of the seller, and you can be sure that he will act in the best interest of yours, and that he is able to only act on your interest side.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. If you have questions to this, please contact us on the chat. We're here to respond, and it's, I think, a unique opportunity to contact the lawyer straight away and responding to your questions. So now we have spoken about the vendors, the sellers. What's changing for the buyers? What's the big difference now for a property buyer here in Germany?
Yeah, talking about Germany is quite a problem because in Germany the commission fee is not unique. We have regions where the commission fee is already divided between the seller and the buyer, and usually seller and buyer are paying 3% plus VAT. But in places like Berlin or in Hamburg, the typical situation so far is that the commission fee is solely paid by the buyer. So in Berlin, the typical or usual commission fee, the buyer has to pay a 7.14% commission fee, including VAT, which is 6% commission fee plus VAT. And in the future, the buyer will pay less commission fee because the typical situation is that the real estate agent has to make a contract with the seller, paying 50% of the commission fee, say 3% plus VAT, and the buyer is going to pay 3% plus VAT. So at these extra costs in buying a property, these extra costs for the buyers will decrease by half of the commission fee.
So we have a question here. What if someone starts looking for a property now but does not buy until 2021?
Yes, this is a good question, and this is quite a thing to explain. I'm not a native speaker, so for non-native speakers, this is quite a thing to explain. So what will happen? We have to focus on the exact time when the contract between the real estate agent and the buyer is closed. So as you have learned now, there is no written agreement between the buyer and the real estate agent necessary today. So real estate agents and buyers are getting into kind of involvement and kind of contract by, let's say, exchanging emails. So you as a buyer are contacting a real estate agent, you're saying, I saw the offer on your website, I'm interested in this property, can we have online viewing or whatever. With this email, this is the offer to make to close a contract with a real estate agent, because usually in the in the online announcement for the property in the listing, you will find the commission fee of 3.57% or 7.14% of the VAT of the commission fee including VAT. So with this exchange of emails, a contract between the buyer and the real estate agent is typically closed. So when you contact the real estate agent, let's say tomorrow, 28th of October, the contract between the buyer and the real estate agent is closed 28th of October. The new law saying the buyer is to pay the same amount of commission fee like the seller starts 23rd of December. So within these next 2 months of time, it is the case that when you close a contract with a real estate agent today, it lasts under conditions of today into next year. So all real estate agent contracts between buyers and real estate agents closed until 23rd of December are in charge. Is that the correct word? I don't know. And they are valid until signing the notary contract, even it is in March, April, or May next year. So there is usually a time between last contact to the real estate agent and signing of the notary contract of 6 months that the real estate agent is able to charge his commission fee later on. So when you sign a contract or when you make a contract today with real estate agents, sign the notary contract in January, February, March next year, you will have to pay the commission fee that is negotiated as of today.
Yes. So if you don't have understood all this, what you just explained in English, please feel free to contact us. We have native English speakers here in the team, and we are also happy to explain it to you. Please send us an email. The logic is a bit complicated because the German real estate agency law is crazy complicated, I have to say. And it's not really common sense. It's very strange. For instance, when you tick the box on our website, you have to tick, I don't know how many boxes, to be sure that you actually get the brochure, to confirm that you will pay commission. Please don't be scared. You only pay the commission, of course, when you have purchased the property. Maybe that's another question we have here. People are asking, when do I have to pay the agent the commission as a buyer, of course? Yeah.
Usually, there's a at the day of the notary contract. Usually, you have to pay the commission fee, because usually real estate agents say in their online listing you have to pay 3.5% commission fee, including VAT, at the time of closing the notary contract. So when you have an appointment like that or did a negotiation like that, this is valid and you have to pay at that time.
Yeah. And the other good thing is that now we have a detailed law in Germany covering all German provinces, which is very important for you as a buyer and also as a vendor, because now we have the same rules everywhere in Germany. At the moment, it depends on which city you go. We have different commissions. It's a bit strange for you as an international buyer or someone who just has moved to Germany and don't understand why, and you can't walk into any estate agency office and ask them, hey, can I please buy a property for me? I want this kind of property. This doesn't work. Maybe this is the next question we have here from one of our, sorry, it's a difficult question, Mr. Jons, but why are people not able to walk into an estate agency office and say, hey, I want you to find a property for me, please, here I'm happy to pay you 7.14% commission?
Well, it depends. Even under the new law, this is possible. So there is a possibility as a buyer to go to a real estate agent saying, I want to close a contract with you, saying that you are my sole instructor or acting only for my interests, and search for a property. And then the real estate agent starts searching the property, and you and this is allowed to charge you the complete commission fee. And everything else gets complicated, or is really complicated, besides these typical situations. So let's say in America, You go to a real estate office, you probably know somebody who works as a realtor, and you ask him, even if you want to move to another state, find a property for me. And this real estate agent will act on your behalf because you're going to pay him, and you make a contract. And he is going into online listings, the MLS system, and so on. In Germany, it's nearly the same, but it's not the usual way to act. But believe me, you will find a real estate agent who works like that. From my point of view, if you contact 10 real estate agents, you will have 3 who are willing to act like that. And especially the bigger real estate companies who are serving special or providing special services to foreign clients, they are all working in these cases. So if you contact a real estate agent asking, I'm looking for a property in the streets around Berlin-Kurfürstendamm, and I'm able to pay 650,000 euro, please find a property for me. And you go to a real estate agent property who is serving international clients, you will find a property agent who is working for you on that basis.
So now to make it a little bit more complicated, Mr. Junz, of course we do work like that. So I would say I would come into this office at Black Label and say, hey Achim, I want to buy a property near Kurfürstendamm, 650,000 euros, and that agent has something on his own listings, which is asking 3.58% commission. Yeah. What happens then?
Then he's going to pay 3.57%. Look, when you go to a real estate agent and ask him to look for, to search a property for you, and negotiating sole instruction, so that the real estate agent is only working on behalf of your interests, you usually pay a bit more commission fee. A Berlin real estate agent usually will ask for 7.1 for commission fee, including VAT, and then he's going to search a property for you. At the end of the day, it might be the case that the real estate agent gets a new property listing. Let's say a company like Black Label Properties starts selling a new project with 12 or 15 newly built apartments down Kurfürstendamm. And they have a contract with the owner. And then he's offering you this property and they say that's it. And then you are not paying the commission fee out of the first contract you have closed with the company, but you will close a new contract with this real estate agent's company, paying 3.57%, and the other half of the commission fee is paid by the seller.
Thank you. So we're running out a bit of time, that's why I have to hurry here a little bit. So another question, I think you already responded to that, is which agreements with sellers and buyers no longer work under the new law?
Which agreements do not work any longer?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. The agreement that the real estate agent works for free for the owner of the property, saying I'm getting my whole or the complete commission fee from the buyer. These kind of contract are not possible any longer under the new law. So this is not possible any longer, and an owner who is going to the real estate agent's company saying I want to sell my property, but you need to have to take the commission fee from the buyer is not possible any longer. An owner who is asking for a cashback or a kickback of commission fee is not possible any longer, and to negotiate anything like that, because this is completely terminated by the new law, which says all of these kind of Vereinbarung, all of these kind of agreements with real estate agents are not possible any longer. So this does not work. And from the buyer's side, what does not work? When the buyer says, I don't want to pay commission fee, you have to take the commission fee fully from the owner. It's not possible because the real estate agent has contract with both parties, and when he has a contract with both parties have to pay 50% of the commission fee.
So the last question for tonight is one of our clients here. Is it likely that the broker fee payment, the commission, will just be taken out of the purchase price and thus be included in the purchase contract? So we could, in Germany, would say an inside commission purely.
Yes.
I think it's partly touching that.
Yes, it's. I'm not sure I've understood the question in that sense, but there are two senses of that. So is it true that the commission is always paid, or the commission the owner pays to the real estate agent is always part of the purchasing price of the property? It might be economically the case, but these are two different contracts, and two different contracts means paying a commission fee is not part of the purchasing price. So because these are two totally different contract systems, so to say. But economically, for the owner, it is when he gets 650,000 for his property, and he has to pay, let's say, más o menos 20,000 euro commission fee to the real estate agent. He will probably take the commission fee out of the money he gets from the owner. So this is one part. Economically, it might be the case, but there are two different contracts. The second thing is it possible that the owner solely pays the commission fee to the real estate agent? Yes, it's possible. So when the real estate agent and the owner make a sole instruction contract, so that the real estate agent is only acting on behalf of the interests of the owner, he will only be paid by the owner, and he will not make any contract with the buyer. He will make a showing to the buyer, but he will not take over its interests. So especially in the negotiation of purchasing prices, the real estate agent acting as sole instructor is able to get the highest price possible and to negotiate the highest price possible when he has a sole instruction contract with the seller. If he has a contract with both parties and both parties are paying the real estate agent, he has to be neutral in all negotiations of purchasing prices. So he is just able to say he would like to have 650, he would like to pay just 580. What would you like to do? And so this is neutrality in purchasing price negotiations. But as an owner of a property, you're interested to have a real estate agent on your side who is negotiating the best possible price for you and trying to lift the price in your interest. And then if you want to have somebody on your side in that case, you will make a contract with a real estate agent saying that you are the only one who is paying the commission fee to the real estate agent, and that the real estate agent is not making a contract with the buyer.
Mr. Jons, thank you for tonight, for all your time. I think we overtook nearly by 10 minutes. Dear listeners, dear spectators, thank you for watching tonight. Thank you, Mr. Jons.